The minivan's tires crunched a familiar rhythm on the winding gravel path, kicking up a fine, warm dust that smelled of pine needles and distant campfires. Ilara pressed her face against the window, watching the blur of towering green firs give way to the rustic charm of Camp Evergreen. Her stomach fluttered with a blend of nervous excitement and the sweet anticipation only a summer away from home could bring. This was her first time, a world away from city streets, and every breath of the clean, cold air felt like a secret promise. Her cabin, Cedar Lodge, was a rough-hewn wooden structure with a porch that groaned underfoot, and inside the scent of stale wood and forgotten sunshine clung to the air. She chose a bunk near the window, already imagining the cicadas' nightly symphony. The first few days were a whirlwind of names, faces, and new activities. Paddleboarding on the glassy lake, navigating muddy hiking trails, and learning the surprisingly complex art of knot tying. It was during a particularly frustrating attempt at a bowline that she first truly noticed him. Liam, with hair the color of sun-bleached sand and eyes that held the easy calm of the lake itself, moved with an unhurried grace. He was one of the older campers, a veteran of several summers, and his patient hands guided hers, his fingers brushing against her knuckles as he demonstrated the intricate loops. A sudden, unexpected warmth bloomed in her chest, chasing away the camp's initial intimidation. He smelled faintly of fresh air and something subtly sweet, like old books and ripe berries. Their paths began to cross more often. He showed her the best spot to watch the sunset over the distant hills, where the sky bled into hues of fiery orange and soft lavender. They shared stories by the crackling campfire, his voice a low, comforting rumble as he strummed old folk songs on his battered guitar. Her favorite was a tune about a lone sailboat, and she found herself humming it long after the embers had died down. She learned about his dog back home, a clumsy golden retriever, and he learned about her secret dream of becoming an astrophysicist, laughing softly at her earnestness, but never mocking. One afternoon, during a canoeing expedition, a sudden playful splash from another canoe capsized theirs. They tumbled into the surprisingly warm lake, sputtering and laughing as they righted the vessel. As they swam back to shore, the sun warm on their faces, he gently pushed a stray strand of wet hair from her eyes, his touch lingering for a heartbeat longer than necessary. In that moment, surrounded by the shimmering water and the silent, watchful pines, something unspoken passed between them, a quiet understanding that deepened with every shared glance across the dining hall or every whispered conversation after lights out. The last night arrived with a bittersweet weight. The final campfire roared, illuminating faces both weary and bright. Liam, as always, had his guitar. He played the sailboat song, his gaze finding hers across the flickering flames, and this time the lyrics felt intensely personal, a silent message carried on the evening breeze. After the crowd dispersed, under a sky teeming with a million indifferent stars, they found themselves alone on the dock, the water lapping softly against the pilings. "I'll miss this," Ilara whispered, her voice thick with emotion she hadn't expected. Liam reached out, his hand gently finding hers, his thumb tracing slow circles on her skin. "Me too, Ilara," he said, his voice softer than she'd ever heard it. Every single bit of it. He didn't make any grand promises, no declarations of forever. They simply stood there, hands intertwined, watching the moon cast a silver path across the dark water. The silence wasn't empty. It was full of all the unspoken words, all the shared laughter, and all the quiet moments that had woven their summer together. As the first light of dawn painted the sky in pale pinks and blues, Ilara left Camp Evergreen, a part of her heart remaining by the lake, forever marked by the memory of sun-bleached hair and eyes the color of summer water.